Hey
So that
everyone.
robot sumo wrestling though.
So in between before the show started, I ended up calling Josh, and I arbitrarily sent him a video of these two robots sumo wrestling, and they did like actual like full blown like suplexes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Were
my
they any
god.
good?
Oh my
Sweep the
god.
leg, sweep the
It
leg.
is weirdly well animated. Like and I know that sounds like a weird thing to say about like real life things. Oh, it's well animated, but like the way the motions like worked,
Well, it looked like a fighting game.
yeah, it looked surreal. But
Like I
that
would not be half surprised if they were using like a fight stick to like pilot these things.
hey
You
Oh,
know,
everyone,
quarter
Jesus.
center forward real quick.
hey everyone. Nate couldn't make it this week. He's not feeling too great, but hope sending good vibes out his way. He had a
Yeah,
long work week.
definitely.
Had a long work week. Um,
Oh man.
But we just wanted to go ahead and give you guys another update as we continue doing the podcast during the hiatus. Um, so the first channel update I kind of want to go over real quick is we are doing a lot of recordings. We're getting a lot of stuff done. It's funny because like I said last week, we're taking a break, but at the same time it's not. like it's nice to have that time off away from the scheduled way that streams work, but we're also like what we did like eight videos this week or something like that. um something like that. We also ran into some issues here and there just based on scheduling, and unfortunately, Amanda, you're on the cast this week, but you're also like
I
sick.
am.
You're also like sick, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
um
got sick out of literally fucking nowhere. I went to work and went, you know what? I'm a little thirsty. Anything today. That's weird. And then I fucking started to die. I like out of nowhere. I was like, oh God, everything's falling apart. What's happened?
I
Oh
like the idea
man.
that you just like you go to reach yourself, oh, a little scratchy, and then
Oh
like you know
yeah.
how like old
It's like you just suddenly catch like measles.
you know how like the world falls apart when you enter combat in old Final Fantasy games, like you
Oh
take the
god.
wrong step and like like fucking like fucking kaleidoscope esque effect like pops and it's like, oh shit, I might be
It
sick.
literally that's what basically what happened because I got up, I was fine. I got ready for work. I went into work, I was fine. An hour into work, I go, you know what? My throat's kind of dry. I'm kind of thirsty.
You know they
An hour later, I was dead.
they say influenza is a great ninja. Just putting that out
My
there. Just
God,
putting that out there for
no.
everyone. Okay, but anyways, happy Easter, everyone. I hope you guys had a really good day today. I had a very untraditional Easter today, and it was a lot of fun.
What'd you
Um,
do?
well, today I went out and we watched. Me and Tabby both couldn't make it to our families today, so we kind of just spent the day in. But we also caught Hellboy, and we'll be talking about
Nice.
that later on in the show. Because
Yeah.
that I have some words about that.
Oh, good words, bad
Oh
words.
no.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, okay.
So because
God.
um
You're like, I have some words, and I'm like, oh fuck me, they're all bad.
no. So it's been out for a
They're
couple
all
weeks.
bad
I will
words.
warn you that like the Hellboy talk will probably go into a little bit of spoiler territory. But we'll get there when we get there. As far as channel updates go, I still can't give you guys like an exact date of when the hiatus is ending, but just know that we are working really hard. Hell, Amanda, anytime that like we're not recording, you're working on the arts. Like
Yeah.
and it's a fun, it's different, it's fun, it's definitely like interesting to try to be like, all right, we got to figure out this stuff, or we got to do this and this. I will tell you guys this much right now. Persona 3 is still continuing, and it's definitely going to be under a stream format because you can't do like 15-20 minute chunks of that game and call it episodes when 15-20 minute chunks could be a single piece of conversation or dialogue.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially in that 2/3 part. But just know that like we're still working on everything. Next week's gonna slow down a little bit because we're actually not doing a Mitch's Minute next week. Come to think of it, because Amanda, you're coming to town.
I am coming to town and then leaving.
Amanda,
It's all very complicated.
yeah, it's interesting, but we're gonna go party for a couple days and take a well-earned vacation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Amanda, do you want to update them? Because you're putting like a lot of work into the art stuff. Do you want to update them on how that's coming along?
Well, like, okay, so that's a good question. Where should I draw the line about where I update them?
Well, don't give the theming away, I guess. But
Oh, fuck me, I guess.
well, that's the thing. When we have something more concrete to hand out, then we'll talk about it more in details.
So, yeah, so I guess I can give the basic overview. I'm all of the main channel art, so all of that are going to be totally different. I have to redraw everyone.
Nice. I'm gonna get some new skin. Pretty excited.
Even
right.
Josh is getting his own.
I
Ron
No,
is getting
even though I do
hers.
nothing. It's great.
You say that, but you're here right now doing something.
Yeah,
So
you
suck
are
it.
you are exclusively my podcast guy. Like
I exist in like they tried to like keep me in like this really like closed off like the back office next to the boiler room.
Yeah, you're the guy from Office Space, where technically you've been fired a long time ago, but we just keep you on payroll.
For some reason.
Yeah, for some like a glitch in the system has kept you like just available.
Just
but
consistently.
I'll cash those checks if they come in.
so
But so far I have myself done reworking a little bit to fit our theme a little bit better. Tabby is sketched out. I've started sketching Ron. I'm going to be sketching Josh and Sora soon, so that'll be fun.
yeah, dude. That definitely. I mean, like I don't know. I've seen the art already, and the patrons I gave them a couple screenshots of what you were up to, and they think that's pretty solid. So I mean, like yeah, like it's going really well.
I never actually heard what they said.
Austin thought it was super solid.
Awesome.
I may have paraphrased that, but yeah. Also, I kind of a tangent. It's not something I wanted to devote a whole subject to. But I gotta admit, it's really nice when someone like compliments some of my voice work.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Talk about that.
Okay, so there's nothing like concrete. But there might be something for me to do later. It's nothing like big or like crazy official or like Funimation, Crunchyroll things. But I guess I don't know how to say it. 'Cause that's the thing. I feel like if I say it, then I'm jinxing myself.
Opportunities were given.
Yes, opportunities were given. By someone that I really respect, and if anything comes of that, I'll update you. If not, then I mean that's okay. I really like their work a lot, and I hope that if I am given that opportunity, then I will be through the roof. And I don't know, the idea that like I'm like I could possibly have like a voice role is like crazy to me,
Man, sounds cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
you haven't been in like that market for a while, though.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's really weird, but like I'm really excited. I don't know. I think it's just weird because like when I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, that could be something that could be fun to do, and then I just never pursued it because I didn't know how. And I don't know. I mean,
I
I
mean,
feel like
granted, the world has opened up a lot more, so
yeah, that's
there is
true.
always that like opportunity because you do have a pretty good voice
Well, thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that. Let me destroy it
for
with some.
voicing villains.
Yeah, for voicing villains and like, yeah, dude, I'll take it. I was actually telling someone earlier this week that that like I remember in high school when we had that drama class together, and our greatest English teacher like was giving us like reviews, and they're just like, you know what, Mitchell, you make such a good side character actor.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I've never been lifted so high and just thrown down so hard.
Hey man, they do good work.
They do. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just
You'd be
saying
a great character actor.
you would be a great side character actor. But
Oh, thanks.
well, I mean,
You
that's the
could
thing.
be like goon number 2 in like the multicultural
I-
like 80s gang.
I can never be Alba, but I could be Kojaku, and I'll take that. I'll take that any day. You know, and that, I don't know. It's just it's nice. It's nice to feel like I don't know. It's just it's cool, you know, to have that level of like appreciation where like that could be a possibility. So I'm trying really hard not to jinx it because I'm weirdly superstitious like that, and I'm which is equivalent of like I'm being dumb. That being said, let's move on to the next topic. Oh god, you ever drink a lot of Coke real quick and you just got like a little air bubble?
Soda.
That's what that's
Yep.
that's
Right after you talk about voice acting, right? Oh, so professional, Mitch. Your chances
You ever
are
just down an
great.
entire thing of Coke and then try not to die?
Overwatch. The new event came out this week. The new Storm Rising event came out this week. So I played it the day it came out with Tabby, and we're not going to talk about this one for too long because I'm actually really disappointed with the event this year. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. So the first year and the second year both had these big like grand endings, and like they were long, and it felt like you were playing like a chapter of the Overwatch team's lives, and and some characters had like new outfits. Most of the characters had new outfits, and it felt like, I don't know, it felt cool. It felt like a story mode. It felt like a prequel to what happened in Overwatch. And this is still that. It's just they don't have any exclusive costumes. There is no boss rush at the end. It feels like if you ever play a video game and you get to World 3 in some of those old video games, like World 3 sometimes isn't the greatest world, and I feel like that's what I played. It's like that boring in between the beginning of the game and the end of the game.
Yay, sounds great.
But that's the thing.
Sounds like you enjoyed it a lot.
Well, it's just, it's an excuse to like throw out like a new level. They're like, oh, like oh, everyone wants to go to Havana, and then it's like, yeah, and then it's like, no. And
So, would you mind this as much if you didn't have to wait a year to get it?
yes, if this wasn't if this wasn't the big event of the year, then yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all. Like, I think that's my only real issue, is that like it doesn't feel as inspired as the other events. And it feels like it's only really played up for the fact that you're like teasing a new hero, which I'm not gonna lie, that's not why I play Overwatch. Like, I don't know. It's just weird, and like I really like it. I really like the archive events. I'm always really into it. I'm really into the anniversary event, which is just next month, so I'm just gonna probably play that a lot next month. But I don't know, guys. If you guys really like the event, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to like shit on this like as hard as I am, but it just feels lacking. It's not colorful. It's just, I don't know. Everything's gray. Everything's.
From what I've heard, like a lot of people are complaining about this event as well.
Oh, okay. So, well, There's
Like
some
So not just
vindication.
you.
Yeah, there's some vindication there.
I would dislike the event more if I cared about Overwatch still.
I still do. I hate to say it, but I still not hate, but like I still love Overwatch. I still think it's still one of my favorite games of all time. I've still poured a bunch of hours and time, and it was something that I played with my brother, and it's something that I still care about, you know. But
Mhm.
you know, it it also sucks because I tried playing it a little earlier today, and a team of Smurfs, like we fought it
Oh
like,
no.
and
Yeah.
I got so pissy and so like frustrated that like I walked out of the room. I fucking threw a bitch fit, and then I sat back down like 20 minutes later, got back on, played solo for a little bit, and won every match. And I'm like fucking vindication. That being said, Overwatch Archives 2019 is not that great. If you like Overwatch, still give it a shot. That's my ending thoughts on it. Let's move on. Um,
Okay.
so I looked up this image, and this was the image that popped for the anime that you guys were trying to tell me about, and I still don't know the name, but
Ah,
Oh
yes.
no. I mean,
Yes,
it's
let's.
accurate.
So, over the last weekend, I ended up watching like the full first season of Kakegurui and like the both the drama and the anime with a friend, and it's surprisingly not that bad. I actually think I like the drama better than the anime, though, in certain respects.
That's fair. That's super fair. So how do I explain that image? Yeah, horny gambling, insane
Yeah.
oddball. Thank you. As
So
as fucky
this
as
is a
that
main
sounds, it's
character.
pretty accurate.
She gets horny
Handful of
from gambling.
oh,
handful of
Um,
people that get off on gambling, mostly for the excitement of it. Because it's
yeah.
like a lot of risk and a lot of excitement and a lot of like reward or punishment versus because the entire like economy of the school is based off of like gambling and how well you do as a gambler.
Yeah, they have like
And
a caste system based on like how good a gambler you are.
yeah, so essentially if you ever wanted to watch a bunch of rich people fuck over each other, that's this anime. All of these kids are the rich spoiled kids of like CEOs and like like
Prime ministers or
figures and shit and
ministers of finance or whatever.
fucking that guy anyway. But
But yeah, um, like mostly what I found interesting about the show was the fact that like you can probably watch both the anime and the drama and get completely different things out of it.
oh yeah, no I could
Because like with the drama, I think the main reason to watch it is actually the like guy character who's like a complete non-being in the anime, but in the drama he exists as like the exposition character. He's the diegetic exposition character that you.
really is he?
Yeah, he's like Speedwagon basically, and I just could not get enough of him. Like I cannot wait for like the second season of this drama to drop.
Yeah, but no, dude, if you've ever wanted to watch a bunch of rich people fuck each other and like one girl will come in shit up because they're all a bunch of cheating rich assholes and you just want to watch someone come in fuck with the richies and then bounce, it's this. Solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But it's something where, like, one show that I've heard this compared to a lot is a show called Liar Game. In that, like, if you enjoy Liar Game, most people will tend to find Kakegurui at least a okay like substitute. I actually haven't seen all of Liar Game yet, so I don't entirely know. Only seen like the
That's fair.
first 7 episodes, maybe. 6 episodes. But if you really need to get that fix, this is the show to do it.
Yeah. No, I get that. Gambling anime, I guess. I had to explain it, but I think it's a good gambling anime. Disappointed with how she just righteously fucks over these people, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's something where if you like seeing dislikable characters getting pretty much wrecked left and right, it's pretty nice.
Mm.
It's a good form of catharsis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, definitely. It's definitely a good just, oh, fuck those guys. Ever wanted to watch, like, a financial fucking wizard get his ass handed to him than in this anime. And it was glorious. But obviously, like, stakes get risen because each of the rich people have their own way of doing the games. It's however they want to play. So some people are like, oh, like literally people's fingernails. So if you lose and I like your nails, then I'm gonna fucking rip them off of you in their mind.
No.
Election.
No.
And then one of the girls plays Russian roulette because that's her fetish.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this is like it's not exactly about the gambling for most of these people. It's about like the metagame, and that's where a lot of the interesting stuff happens. Like the game beyond the game that they're participating in, and then it's like
Yeah,
the main
it's
character
the
girl is just
weird
about
timing economic
enjoying the thrill
game.
of gambling.
Like a handful of them that are like super, super into gambling. But the main character is really into gambling because she likes to see how fate works out for people. So she's like one of the few that don't cheat. It's to see how like the system works, and it gets her excited to see the many possibilities. But yeah, no, insane oddball. Well, horny gambling is a great way to describe this show.
Well then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure kakigurui is actually just Japanese for like gambling addict. So there is that.
That's exactly what it too. Like, it's either like gambling addict or like compulsive gambler, and that's like it.
One of the two. But yeah, for me, it's like it's something where I enjoyed it. It's something I think is better watched with friends. Just as something where you can enjoy like the ridiculous stakes that are going on.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
for me, my personal recommendation is, watching the like the drama because it's just so much more ridiculous.
It's very fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, let's move on to the next topic. So earlier in the cast, I talked about the fact that I went to go see Hellboy today. So everyone in
Oh
this
boy,
room.
on Easter.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into a little bit of spoiler territory. You guys don't mind, right?
No.
Okay, so if you guys don't want spoilers for the movie Hellboy, I guess pause this until, or not pause it, but just mute this until you see the picture change. And all right, so,
Yeah, just bounce for a minute.
yeah, you're fine. So the thing with this Hellboy that I gotta get out there right now is everyone in their fucking mothers think that they are so smart and so clever, being like, you know what? I'm gonna review Hellboy without even seeing it because it's not like the original. And you're absolutely fucking right. This movie is definitely not like Guillermo del Toro's movie. It's not. It doesn't have that same heart, and you're not gonna find that heart in this movie. What you will find is pretty okay. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. but it is okay. And that's
Okay.
All right.
so.
So what separates this from like Captain Marvel? It's okay.
Okay, so I would argue that David Harbour is the reason why this movie can work. David Harbour is the guy who plays Hellboy. Obviously, he's not Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is in his 70s now, and and as much as I would love,
You
He's
mean you
still
can't convince him
Hellboy
to, like,
to me.
I'm
get
sa-
in like 50 pounds of makeup?
I'm not
run around.
I'm not saying that Ron Perlman's too old to do the gig. I'm saying that like it's one of those things where like, hey, you know, this is their attempt to try again. And David Harbour definitely brings his own flair to the role. So that's the one thing I really liked about the movie, was the fact that like when you see David Harbour on screen, the makeup artists did a fantastic job making him look as good as possible. I really like it. I really like the way that he looked throughout the film. And Harbour is just able to bring a performance that definitely makes him similar, but not, you know, the same as the original Hellboy, Ron Perlman. He brings a certain energy, but he also kind of is, you know, it feels like he's definitely trying to find himself. And it's that weird thing because Tabby never saw the original movies. So when I talked to her about it later, you know, she really enjoyed it. She thought it was great. I feel like it's way too easy to dismiss this movie as bad. Because well, that's the thing, because it's not bad. It's not. I'm trying to think of a good example. It's not Jupiter Ascending.
Oh Jesus!
It's that, yeah. See, when I say Hellboy 2019, I don't feel like I watched Jupiter Ascending. I feel like
I haven't seen that film, so I feel like I'm missing like an important like point of comparison here.
Jupiter Ascending is just,
Okay, we'd have to watch Jupiter Ascending for you to get it. All you need to know is that there's literally a space DMV scene, and Chekhov's gun is introduced and then never used.
so.
Okay.
Let's get back to Hellboy. Let's do that.
Okay.
So this movie doesn't have Abe Sapien, but they did kind of hint it and tease it at the very end of the movie. And that's another thing, you know. There's this thing about the movies that feels weird. The very beginning of the movie, Hellboy goes over to Tijuana to go get his agent buddy, who he's quote unquote partners with. Because his agent buddy, you know, went to go investigate vampires, and he hasn't come back in 3 weeks, and so Hellboy gets sent, and he deals with that. It turns out his buddy's been turned into a vampire, and he kind of accidentally kills him, and before he dies, he says the end is coming, and that kind of sets the movie, you know. The weird thing about this movie is it's weird because it's under the impression that the audience already knows who Hellboy is. But we also have some weird origin movie aspects to it. So like it feels like it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. It's trying to say, hey fans of Hellboy, like from 10 plus years ago, here is a movie for you, but also here is something new for new people. And that's great. You know, that's a great way to do it. When it's executed properly. There's a lot of times in this movie that someone will be like, Hellboy fucked me over. And,
oh, no.
And that's, I personally really like that kind of stuff. I like it when you're introduced to our character and he's already been doing stuff, you know? It's the thing I'm hoping they do with Fantastic Four. It's the thing I'm hoping that they do, whenever they do.
So you're saying, like, William Shakespeare, the director of this movie, decided to start in medias res.
I'm saying that Jack Sparrow has already been doing shit before the beginning of this movie. I'm saying,
Great.
but that's the thing. When Jack does it, and you find out through the context of other characters, that's a good way to do a movie, you know? It establishes a character who's already often about doing his adventures. And the same thing with Hellboy. In this movie, there's a lot of characters who's like, Hellboy wronged me. Hellboy did, Hellboy cut out my eye and chopped off my legs. And, Hellboy's been going on these adventures. And I think that's the problem. It's this weird thing where if you don't execute it properly, it doesn't work to the way that they think it's going to work. So one of my biggest problems with this movie was the fact that from the very beginning of the movie, it establishes a tone. Ian McShane is giving the narration on top of some scenes of King Arthur riding on top of a magical hill to go fight the Blood Queen, the Blood Witch or whatever.
Okay.
And Ian McShane, as he's giving this narration, says something along the lines of oh, well, it's like, yes, back in 1500 years ago, King Arthur got his shit together and fucking went up to the hill to fight the witch. And I'm like, wow, this is really weird and really disconnecting when you're cursing in the middle of our narration. Okay. And I don't know why, but it took me out of the movie. I'm like, oh, this is the tone. This is what you're setting us up with. And that's to go back to my original topic, because I'm horrible at this sort of thing. The problem with this Hellboy, for me at least, when people start comparing the two movies, is that they're very tonally different. The original Hellboy is about a character who is in love with a woman and is just trying to, he's trying to be a person. He's trying to be like a normal guy. He's trying to, he's trying to have that balance.
It's like any dysfunctional rom-com from the 90s.
Yeah,
except with, hell and demons.
Yeah,
and
he's but like that's the thing. So like he's trying, he's going through the hero's journey, he's trying to figure out like why do they want him? Why does Rasputin and the Nazis want him? And
I can I just pause for a moment and just say that I like how you said why. Because it sounded like you were really said why. I'm sorry. I know you were probably like just trying to say something, and for some reason it sounded like that, but for some reason it just sounded like you were so sad. Why?
It's just, that's the thing.
Hellboy just wants to know why they did this.
Well, so that's the thing though. So both movies present the idea that Hellboy wants to know why he's around. What, like in this movie they kind of frame it like the idea that like it's like, oh, my dad didn't kill me. He was sent there to kill me. He's a big hunter guy. They also changed the dad a bit around. And that's another thing. They based a lot of this off of the source material. So
clearly, you just said big hunter guy.
No. I mean, like he's like a demon hunter, like a monster hunter. And he decides not to kill Hellboy that day. And in the framing of the movie, that's one of the problems that David Harbour's Hellboy has. He's like, why didn't you kill me? That was your job. That was your mission. What did you see in me? And Hellboy feels disgruntled. He feels lonely. He's not allowed to go out and do fun things. He wants to go and drink. He wants to have fun with his buddies. He wants to, do all this fun stuff, and he's not given that opportunity. In the original, it's hard not to go back to Guillermo del Toro's interpretation of the character, because even if it didn't particularly go with the source material, it still was able to sell me on the character a little bit more than David Harbour's character is. And I think that that's kind of the problem in general with redoing these movies is like, let me put it this way. When I went to the movies today, there was like 5 different trailers. And out of those 5 trailers, one was for Aladdin and one was for Godzilla King of Monsters. And I'm excited for King of Monsters because I love Godzilla. When I was a kid, I loved him, and I still love him now. I'm excited for that movie because it looks like it's going to be doing something very different with that storyline, or not with that storyline, but with this kind of big monster fight. It's making it feel like it's cataclysmic. It's the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Aladdin, I don't know how to feel about that.
You know, I've always been on the side of the camp that says Disney live action movies are just an impossibly bad idea.
Well,
Oh, dude, they're so bad.
apparently some people are saying that, like, and don't quote me on this one, but Tabby had mentioned the idea that, like, apparently they're doing this because the copyrights. Sometimes they'll make these movies because the copyrights are going to expire.
Oh yeah, I mean, the mouse has always been about keeping copyrights, right?
So, I mean, I'm surprised, but
on one half, yeah, that makes sense. On the other half, like, I'm sure they could just like copyright to it.
yeah,
right?
I don't know if that would really have anything to do with the copyrights, because then, like, it's not like anybody's fighting over the Dumbo copyright.
Yeah, that's fair. But back to Hellboy. I need to kind of convey something real quick before I forget what it is. So something that I really didn't appreciate about this movie was the fact that once again, spoilers. I'm just gonna go into this.
Did they have like a portion where like he grabbed like, you know, a plushie of like Abe Sapien and like said "not in a million years" and like threw it over his shoulder?
They did at the very end at the very end of the movie.
Oh no, I was only joking. No.
At the very end of the movie, the last frame before the credits start rolling is Hellboy with his new team, which I did like that aspect of it. I wish we had a little bit more of the little team dynamic and stuff like that. That was fun. When you know, it's a really nicely done choreographed scene. It's Hellboy, his new friend who's like a were-jaguar, and a spirit medium, and like you spend the whole movie with these guys, and at the very last scene do you like, oh man, they're kicking ass and, you know, taking names and shit, like, oh, this is the atmosphere of the movie, you know.
Well, yeah, the movie should have been.
Yeah, you know, and at the very end, Abe Sapien is in a container, and it seems like that the movie ends with them trying to get him out, you know. But they also did something I wasn't 100% on. I mean, if you guys know the lore or anything like that, go ahead and tell me. But apparently, Hellboy is a descendant of King Arthur and has the ability to wield Excalibur.
Okay.
Which was new. The way that they dropped that was not very subtle. Or
did like King Arthur like put his like you know put his member into like a bit of like toxic ichor or something?
No. So the idea is that King Arthur had a daughter in secret, and that daughter had a daughter, and the idea is that there was a chain of descendants until one of them fell in love with a demon, and that demon was impregnated the woman, and was dragged into hell to give birth, and then that's where Hellboy comes from, apparently. So, but then it's essentially an excuse to be like, hey, Hellboy, you can wield Excalibur, you know? And it felt weird, and I'm sure that's a thing in the comics, but it felt kind of weird the way that they dropped that. Anyways, not to spend the next 20 minutes talking about Hellboy, but like, well,
so I mean, at the end of the day, how do you think the movie acquitted itself?
I you know, a lot of people didn't like this movie. I hate saying it like this, but I liked it. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was just a dumb, fun movie. I only say I hate saying this because I know deep down in my heart that this movie probably isn't going to get a sequel, because I think it only made 30 million and it cost 50 million to make. But
no,
that's not good.
But I admittedly, I think part of that, it's weird because there are moments in this movie where I don't understand, like, where the
Hellboy cost 30 million or 50 million to make?
Yes.
Huh. I wonder how much the original ones made.
We'll get,
like, how much they cost.
Well, okay, so this is the problem though, right? So like, I'm watching the movie and I'm noticing like some of this is really schlocky, like some of the edits, some of the way that some of the things are done, like it's kind of schlocky. But then there's some really great moments, you know? Like in terms of just like a certain, in terms of just imagery, the whole movie feels like the cover of like a 1980s metal like a metal album.
Like the cover of like Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah, there's a scene where Hellboy is riding a flaming zombie dragon across the fucking destroyed city of London.
No, we don't have enough of that imagery in our lives anymore.
Oh god. But anyways, the point is, it's just like, look, I would say this: if you are curious at all, go see this movie. Go see it. Just because it is kind of cheesy, it is kind of dumb. It feels like it should have gone up on Netflix and not in movie theaters. But I'm not gonna lie, it's just good to see the guy up on the screen. It's just good to see a movie that has Hellboy in it. It's just good to have some. I know it sounds weird. A week before Endgame, but it's just so good to see someone who's not an Avenger or not in DC, like not in this weird fight between the two. If they made a movie about the Wolf Among Us or Fables, and it was just following Big B Wolf solving a crime in fucking Fabletown, I'd be so fucking down to clown on that. I mean, I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, it feels like we've lost, like the small blockbusters. Like, I mean, we've had like some of them, right? We've had like John Wick and like Kingsman, but honestly, that market is fairly underserved.
Oh,
and
man.
It's being really ignored.
Oh man, like, and that so like I said, if you are at all interested in seeing this movie, I would say go watch it. Just once. Maybe wait for it for Netflix, because there's no doubt in my mind this will pop on Netflix or Hulu or something. But if you're at all curious, I will say David Harbour really sells it. I really like him. I don't like Ian McShane as the dad as much. He was kind of a dick. And I think that's maybe closer to the source material, but I also am like, well, I really like Guillermo. So
well, if that's the case, the source material sucks.
Well, that's not what I said. That's what you said. The last thing we're talking about this week is we're going to update you guys on Gundam 00, everyone's favorite topic. Yeah. All right, so Amanda and I have been watching Gundam 00.
We're almost fucking done.
We're almost done with Gundam 00. We are 44 episodes to Gundam 00. And this is a hard topic to talk about. I have sat here late at night thinking to myself, man, I should make a video just on Gundam 00 and why this works and why it doesn't work. We've talked about it a little bit before on a couple episodes of Mitch's Minute. This show is weird. This show is so weird. It's so good and also bad and also kind of schlocky, but I also really like it. And it just feels like that perfect 2007 anime that just encapsulates the time that we were alive in, where 13-year-old 13-year-old Mitchell not 13, maybe 13, 24, like 14, 15,
something like that.
Yeah, when teenage Mitch would be able to sit down and be like, oh wow, a character's name Revival, or
oh god,
or
yeah, so Revival.
a new
one
returner.
called like fucking no, what's his name?
It's almost as good as like Universal
Bring...
Century names.
Oh,
like
Bring
Quattro Begina.
Oh,
right?
Bring Stabity, something like that.
Yeah, Bring Stabity is this motherfucker's name. They, honest to God, named a character Bring Stabity.
I could be wrong. The last name is
like actually really on the nose.
So I'm gonna look it up right now. His name is Bring Stabity.
Yes.
Okay.
So in season 2, they introduced this concept of essentially, Josh, we're going to use Universal Century top kind of subjects. They introduced their own new types called innovators, and they're supposed to be these space boys who are, space boys and girls who are all twinks, and are all better than the rest of humanity, and they're led by one
Of course.
named Ribbons Allmark. And so it's taking the new type idea, but kind of villainizing it, you know, like being like, oh well, they think they're better than everyone. They're kind of Gurrening it, where it's like Gurren believed Gurren.
No,
Yeah, I
Gurren,
was confused there for a second. I was like,
Just like a spiral power?
Yeah, that's right. Spiral power.
Oh.
No,
I was like,
so we have
login?
superior,
Right.
spiral energy. So of course we should rule.
well, so that's the thing. So this season has been about like, okay, so you have second season. It's all about, you have the innovators who are trying to do their own thing. They are being like evil and influencing things. And then you have the A-Laws, who are a-holes, and essentially are like the world unified police, who are abusive as shit. And, you know, it sucks.
Like, they mass kill people, no worries. They're totally fine with fucking over, like, the ecosystem for who knows how long. No worries. Women, children, old, sick, they don't care. They'll fucking shoot you.
And it's just... And then you have the rebel group, Catharon, and then you have Celestial Being, and then you have Mr. Bushido and Billy Katarag. And if I have lost anyone, welcome to the party. Because this show has so much going on. And then you also have characters from season 1 who are now in new positions, where you have fucking Saji Crossroads and Louise Halavy, who were civilian characters in the first season, who are all of a sudden in these military positions, who are, you know, who it's...
I mean, like...
There's a lot. There's just a lot.
Have you ever wanted to see a group of, like, new types that were also Nazis? Well, Gundam 00 is for you.
Well, the worst part is that it's not just the fact that they're Nazis, it's the fact that there's 2 new Nazis. I made a comment last night where I said Ribbons Allmark is somehow worse than Girin. Somehow he's worse.
Take that into account, Josh.
He's
somehow
he's worse than the guy whose own father called him Hitler, and because of that line, everyone just assumes that all Zeons are Nazis. Like it is the worst, and the
Zeons just had a bad leader, man.
Dude, honest to God, well, dude, don't get me started on like this week and last week.
If Dozel was crown prince, you know this shit wouldn't have happened.
Oh,
well, of course, but it's the fact that Girin like killed his own dad and then took over and then like essentially declared like it fucking made like the Fourth Reich. And then was like, yeah, fucking all new types, exclusively new types, we're the superior race. No other zombie, no other character believes that. But it I don't know. I got like really weirdly upset earlier this week because like fucking everyone just wrongly calls Zeon like space Nazis. That's not true. They're not.
I mean, they use the space Nazi iconography.
They do.
And I mean, in the original series, they probably were space Nazis.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like the, like the other material.
I know. I mean, to be fair, like, did the people of Zeon know? No.
I don't know, dude.
No.
I don't know. What matters is that they're not now. Because, and maybe that sounds weird, but like, look, yeah, they're supposed to look like Nazis or whatever. They're supposed to have those, like, green uniforms and whatever. But, like, that's only in original Gundam. Neo Zeon exists. The sleeves exist. Like, other shows that their main folk, like, other factions that came from Zeon, a lot of old Zeon soldiers that you're introduced to in other shows, like, those guys are not Nazis. They're dudes who wanted space independence. We're getting too into this. I mean, we need to talk about 00. Fucking...
Yes. Enough about the space.
Yeah, no, we need to talk about
revolution.
Double O.
We're not going to talk about the 2 million people that were thrown into space and essentially work as slaves to support an Earth Federation who's constantly destroying their own planet, but or the fact that the fucking unicorn's all about that and fucking about the rewriting history.
Maybe-
We're not talking about the
We're not talking about that.
space.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not talking.
Maybe instead we should be talking about how Double O uses the word infidel and it has not aged very well.
So
They used it a lot.
So I think I used Aliala Sanchez in one of the previous images to talk about Gundam 00. He is still one of my favorite characters.
He's so fucking evil that this man essentially went, you know what I want? You know what the issue is? Well, here you go, kids. Go home, kill your parents.
I can't deal. Okay,
Soldiers.
so Josh, you haven't gotten to this part in 00 yet, but there is this character named Aliala Sanchez. This guy is so cartoonishly evil. Like he's just the best. Like every time he's on screen.
But like, is it like Dio evil?
Like I don't know. Would Dio have child soldiers? Like would he convince a bunch of children?
If it benefited him.
Yeah, I guess he's Dio evil. He's Dio evil. But like it's almost like if a henchman was Dio evil. Like that's the most the beautiful thing about Aliala Sanchez is he's not even the main threat of the Gundam Meisters.
No, he's not.
He's just
he has
some
a boss.
dude. He's
a mercenary.
He's just this really evil guy. Like essentially what it boils down to is he is the guy who convinced Setsuna, one of the main characters of the show, to kill his parents and to fight for him and to fight for God specifically. So
on top of that, there's this character. He's our sweet angel baby boy, Lock-On, and he's like, hey, these child soldiers do. Create an act of terrorism.
That's right.
Blow up these buildings in Ireland for some reason.
I think he was just paid to do it. I think when they actually question him on it, they're just like, he's like, I made $12.
And then like, basically, dude, because then this character, Angel Babyface Lock-On, fuck. I lost my whole family.
I was paid in Arby's coupons.
Oh man, those are pretty sick, man.
Like,
remember when he just found like the Trinities and was like, "Oh hey, you exist."
No,
I don't like that.
Okay, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. Aliala Sanchez, by all means of the word, should be like one of the weirder big bad characters. Every time these fuckers go up against him, he fights toe to toe with them and then just runs away like an asshole and then fucks something else up, like bombs a building or kills a couple other side characters for no reason, just to do it.
No reason. He starts like, oh, you know what's not enough in this world? I need to go do that, and he'll just go do it.
Like, it's just...
This dude is literally like, you know what I'm not happy about? Of children and the noises of puppies playing. I should fucking kill them all.
You know...
That's literally this man.
Josh, I shit you not, he is so fucking horribly, stupidly evil that he shoots a dude in the stomach, steals his Gundam, and then kills another guy with it. He steals a Gundam, the symbol of heroism in our fucking show about fucking whatever, and he just pilots a Gundam, and the best part about that is we are in season 2, and he keeps that fucking Gundam, and he improves it, and he makes it look even more evil and shitty. He's fucking amazing. I love Aliala Sanchez so much.
The best fucking part is that this motherfucker is Koga from Inuyasha.
So like his voice like has this like intense rasp sometimes. Like he grinds on his throat. And like the English dub for it is so good. By the way, something I want to say real quick. Gundam's dubs, like 00 specifically right now that we've been watching this dub for like weeks now. This is really good for what it's worth. Like I have not questioned whether or not like, oh, maybe it's better in Japanese. There's only one time I questioned it. I lied. There's one time I questioned it. And it's when a character creates a song.
That's exactly the fucking moment I thought of.
A character creates a song based on what a bunch of children have written on pieces of paper and then puts them together into a song. And then apparently that song ends up on the fucking radio. And
somehow, keep in mind that this character is a new type that's never left Earth.
Oh.
So what she does is that she projects it out into the universe and forces everybody to hear this child's song.
It's not even great. It's not even a good song. The point is, Gundam 00 is fucking
all the
weird.
characters in the universe are touched, though, right?
Gundam 00 is so fucking weird. The things that that's why I'm like, okay, I keep talking about it at the end of every Mitch's Minute that we've been watching it because it feels like there's a lot to talk about. But there's so much to talk about. There's so much there's so much that happens in a season, and we are 19 episodes into season 2, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck. Like I want to talk about Tieria and how weird dummy thick he is, and like or
oh
fucking,
god, he is a thick boy.
He is
who cross dresses and is double thick.
He is like weirdly thick, and I am down to clown. But like, and then I want to talk about fucking Alleluia and Hallelujah and Soma Pires and fucking Lieutenant and fucking not Lieutenant. Is it Lieutenant Smirnov? It doesn't matter. Yeah. I want to talk about Smirnov.
Colonel
Smirnov. Colonel's fucking Smirnov. And how we lost our shit at his fucking name. Or like there's so much about 00 that is just so amazing and so dumb and so bad. I am
simultaneously bewildered, intrigued, and repulsed.
It is the mechs are cool. Everything about the show, like in terms of like the mystery aspect, is great. But like I'm sitting here and I'm like I feel like I need to talk about this. I need to tell someone and share my pain because it just there's so much. There is so much to talk about with Gundam 00, and half of it doesn't even have to do anything with the fact that it's like Gundam Meisters. It has to do with the fact that they just casually drop the fact that there's regeneration chambers which can repair any fucking wound as long as your DNA isn't fucking corrupted. Like it.
Can I just quickly highlight some of the lyrics from this song that I just pulled up?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to lie down on the green grass. I want to tumble together with the animals. Really a lyric.
There is a moment
that is being fucking forced into people's brains. And then the song, I forgot, ends with, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine.
By the way, I want to point out that there's a moment where Aliala Sanchez is about to get murdered by Setsuna. Setsuna comes flying with his Gundam. He's going real fast, like so fast that like after images are fucking happening, he pulls out his fucking blades. He's about to fucking impale Aliala Sanchez, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, I need this guy to live till episode 50.
Oh no!
And you know what stops it? The fucking song. The fucking song starts playing, and all of a sudden, Setsuna like
these children, and it's so bad. And I'm sat there going like, I bet this is better in Japanese.
and Aliala Sanchez is like, what the fuck's happening? And just bails. He just bounces because Setsuna just stops. He thinks he's gonna die, and he's like, what the fuck? And then just runs away.
It's like, all right, I guess Setsuna's having a fucking stroke. I'm a bounce.
It's just. It's so...
Intents and purposes, Setsuna is literally having a fucking stroke. He's sat there and he can't move. He can't breathe. All that's happening is that he's being forced to listen to a song written by 5-year-olds. And he's like, what the fuck is happening?
And it's just... It's so weird. And I'm not even talking about Catheron, the fucking or Crugis or Graham Acre and the never ending ability to make me feel like, wow, first season Graham, fucking amazing. Second season Graham, what the fuck happened to you?
Well, I could say the same thing about fucking Lock-On, so...
Oh, we can't get into that. But we can't because we'll be here forever. So
we can't. All you need to know is season 1 Lock-On, sweet angel baby boy. Second season Lock-On, not the same dude. Therefore, he is a piece of shit.
I have never wanted to make an essay harder than I have for Gundam 00. Because this show, like you could make an entire essay on the Gundam Meisters. You can do one about fucking Graham Acre and the side characters.
You can go ahead and become a Gundam YouTube channel already.
Dude, it's so weird. Anyways, guys, we're gonna end it today. We're gonna end this. We're gonna finish up Gundam 00. I'm not sure if I'm gonna.
We're sorry, guys.
Dude, we're not even
the rebrand
done.
was
We
a
still
lie.
have
We're
7 episodes.
I know.
We're just gonna turn into a Gundam like video essay channel, guys. Listen to Mitch talk about the Gundam Meisters in a 7-part series.
Hell yeah,
no, I swear.
Oh my god. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and end things up today. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Mitch's Minute. I know that we spent the last like 20-30 minutes or something like that, like just talking about Gundam Meisters and shit. But I just wanted to say real quick, thank you guys so much for once again being patient. I know this isn't the content that you guys signed up for when you guys signed up for this channel, but we are kind of, we're making it work. I did want to also mention something real quick. I will mention again at the beginning of the next episode, which, oh shit, that's not going to be that's not till the week after, but video termination will be beginning soon, so we're going to start deleting in mass a bunch of videos very soon. And I think as of this episode, I think I scheduled it for either the 6th, 7th, or 8th. And the reason why is because I need the day off to make sure everything goes smooth for that of May. So, I just wanted to let you guys know in advance that's happening, and I also kind of wanted to just, thank you guys so much for, once again, being, listening to this stuff, and, yeah, we will catch you guys next time, and, I'm sorry once again, we're not doing an episode next Sunday, but we will be back the following Sunday.
We'll see you guys in the Universal Century.
Yeah, Universal Century, 0079. Actually,
happy Egg Day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.